I am so excited. There is a workshop coming up and it's being presented by Omar and Lori Hansen. And it's crafting the one-person show, though I think it's also about one person, two person, three person. And that's going to be on Saturday, November 6, 2021. 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. But don't worry, that link below will show you a time zone converter so you can figure out what it is for you. And we need to know more about this. It seems like there's a story behind why you're even doing one person, two person, three person shows.
Well, I will start. Omar taught storytelling at BYU, Idaho. Well, we both did for quite a number of years. And as one of the projects they could take on, if they chose to do a one-person project, they could. And so we watched students develop these one-person presentations. Some were storytelling, some were acting, and realized this was a venue that we really, or a format, I guess, that we really loved. And so I gathered up some of the stories of mine that I realized all had a central theme surrounding the crone figure, which I've always been drawn to, and put those together in a way that I felt like had an overall message and an overall running, story arc running through it, and transitions in between the stories that pulled it all together. And I really enjoyed doing it, and I found venues to perform it in, festivals to enter it into, and it's been really satisfying. So it kind of took off from there.
Yeah, and we are tandem tellers, so doing a one-person play was great. And then we kind of go into what you might even call readers theater. Now, I don't like the way sometimes people talk about readers theater as people with a book reading from a book. That's not what I mean. It is narrative theater and narrative storytelling, where you have all of the wonderful aspects of storytelling, but you also have the elements of a story arc play. And so that's some of the things we'll talk about in the workshop, is how to create that arc so that you know that you can keep people focused into what's going to happen in that hour that you spend with them.
Yep. And it sounds like these skills can be adapted in many ways, but it also feels like it's more artist driven versus by the venue itself. So it probably could go both ways. What are your feelings about that, about just the idea of it? It feels kind of like a fringe.
You know, it is almost that way. My suggestion would be, at least what pops into my head, is that do the project that you want to do. Don't try and gear your project to a specific venue or an event, because then it really won't be the labor of love that you want it to be. Does that even make sense, what I'm saying?
Well, and a lot of times, you know, storytellers tend to think, oh, I've got to have this ready for a big tent, you know, and 1,000 people in a tent and a microphone. But a lot of times, well, you'll be performing, and this is where diversifying from just, you know, pure storytelling to a mixture that allowed us to say, yeah, we can go into small venues. I'm a guy that doesn't like sets. I like to have that actor, the storyteller, be the thing that is most important. And so that's what we do. We say, this is how you as a group or a single storyteller can get up and say, I'm going to create a story or a group of stories that are similarly themed, and I can do it and say, here's how I can create that arc. Because even with a group of stories, you really need to feel like you're keeping the audience in a bit of a mystery. And we'll talk about that in the
right, you don't want to reveal too much now. This is just
right,
a bit of teaser. Right. And besides, it's really fascinating about how it's not just the art itself. You also have done tours. You have to think of it on a marketing side of things too. And I've definitely seen you do amazing stuff. I am excited. So everybody, you will want to join us. They are amazing. And if you've seen them, you already know they're amazing. If you haven't, well, gee whiz, you're going to have to put them on your list. So join us on Saturday, November 6, 2021. Again, that is 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And yes, that web link has that time zone converter. Until we tell again.